the #1 source for everything baseball. This is MLB.com Radio.
Hi, everyone, and welcome out to Mesa's Hohokam Park for today's Arizona Fall League action as the Mesa Desert Dogs get ready to host the Peoria Saguaros. Hello, I'm Victor Rojas. Thanks for tuning in. Dan Gentile manning the knobs back in New York City, and a phenomenal job that he does. Even though he had a personal day yesterday, we don't take personal days here in the Arizona Fall League, and we've had some good action yesterday. Scottsdale Scorpions making it interesting as they gave up a couple of runs in the ninth inning, but held on to win by the final of 6-5, holding off the Grand Canyon Raptors. Today we shift over to Mesa. We're actually here today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. All games starting at 3 o'clock Eastern time. As you look at this ball game, though, you have a 500 team in the Mesa Desert Dogs, 13-13, yet that is good enough for first place in the National Division. They have a 2-game lead over the Grand Canyon Raptors. On the other side, you have the Peoria Saguaros, who are 15-12, 3 games over 500, yet in second place in the American Division, trailing the Mesa Solar Sox by 2 games. So, you know, what does that mean? Well, it means absolutely nothing right now, and all it means is that leading up to the championship game coming up a week from Saturday, each winner of the divisions, the American and National Division, will play in a 1-game championship ball game to decide who is the champion, of course, of the Arizona Fall League. So the Mesa Desert Dogs have just now taken the field, so let's run down the starting lineups for the visiting Peoria Saguaros, and leading it off from the Padres organization, the shortstop, J.J. Fermaniak. Batting second over at second base is the second baseman, because he's at second base, Jake Gautreau. Batting third at third is David Wright out of the Mets organization. It'll be Adrian Gonzalez at first base, batting cleanup out of the Texas Rangers organization. Batting fifth from the Padres, the designated hitter, John Knott. Batting sixth in right field from the Marlins, Chris Aguila. Batting seventh and doing the catching, Mets farmhand, Justin Huber. Batting eighth in left field is Brad Nelson out of the Milwaukee Brewers organization. And batting ninth out of the Texas Rangers organization is Drew Meyer. So once again, it'll be Fermaniak, Gautreau, Wright, Gonzalez, Knott, Aguila, Huber, Nelson, and Meyer. Set to face the right-hander out of the Cleveland Indians organization, Kyle Evans. And Evans has had a phenomenal Arizona Fall League thus far. A 2-1 mark and a minuscule 1.80 earned run average. 20 innings of work for the right-hander. He's allowed just 14 hits. He's struck out 11, walked 5 in 5 starts. So this will be his 6th start of the Arizona Fall League. And leading it off for the Saguaros, J.J. Fermaniak. The shortstop comes in hitting .245. No home runs. 4 runs batted in. Decent little speed. As he'll hit from the right side. Smith, the third baseman, playing at the cut of the grass as Fermaniak takes a pitch inside, and we're underway. Rico Washington from the Padres organization will join us a little bit later on as our prospect chats, if you will, continue here on MLB.com radio. 2 balls and no strikes. Evans winds the pitch, swing and a miss. 2-1. Yesterday, the Peoria Javelinas 11-4 winners over the Mesa Solar Sox. McClellan picked up the win. Hines suffered the loss. Santos for the Javelinas, 4 for 5, 3 runs, a home run, 3 ribeyes. As that pitch missed downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. Evans has fallen behind here. Mentioned that Scorpions Raptors score 6-5. Nate Bland from the Astros picked up the win. Joe Valentine picked up the save. There's a ground ball left side. Smith, the third baseman, cuts it off, throws on to Johnson in time for the first down. Well, that'll give us the opportunity to set up the defense for the Mesa Desert Dogs. Nick Swisher is in left field. Rich Thompson in center. Chris Duffy in right. Corey Smith, the third baseman. Freddie Bynum at short. It is Tony Schrager at second baseman. Dan Johnson at first. And Kelly Shopak The Boston Red Sox organization is the catcher. As the left-hand hitting Jake Gautreaux steps in, takes a first pitch fastball at the knee, strike one. Gautreaux spent time in the Arizona Fall League last year. Getting the start at second base today as the fastball misses outside. 1-1. Evans winds the 1-1 pitch. That ball misses low. 2-1 now. Gautreaux comes in hitting .294. A home run, 8 runs batted in, 4 doubles. And he skies one towards right center field. Duffy, the right fielder, moving over. So does Thompson, the center fielder. It'll be Thompson making the grab for the second out. Not quite as spacious at Scottsdale Stadium here in Mesa. 340 down the left field line, 390 to the power alley and left. 410 straightaway center field, 390 in right center, and 350 down the right field line. Both bullpens, a tiered bullpen system in right field. As David Wright steps in, good prospect for the Mets organization, takes a fastball on the inside corner, strike one. Wright, a third baseman, a 333 average. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Fastball missing away. 1-1. Evans, I mentioned, out of the Indians organization, delivers a curveball low. And he's fallen behind 2 balls and a strike. Get you some more information on the young right-hander. 2-1 curveball again. Missed outside. 3-1. Evans, a 6th-round selection in 2000 for the Indians out of Baylor University. A fine season, Double-A Akron, 9-5, and a 3.59 earned run average. Pulls one down the left field line, fair ball. Just inside the bag, Wright will round first. He'll head into second base with a 2-out double. So Wright swinging on 3-1, got a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Not much Smith, the third baseman, can do as it hugs the bag. And for David Wright, that is his 6th double of the AFL. Adrian Gonzalez, a power hitting prospect of the Rangers organization, steps in from the left side against Evans, whose fastball misses away, ball one. Gonzalez, the former number 1 pick for the Florida Marlins, went over to the Rangers this past season in the Ugueth-Urbina trade. As he chops one foul behind the dish, evens the count at 1-1. But the emergence of Jason Stokes in the Florida Marlins organization made Gonzalez expendable. Many feel that Stokes is a better power-hitting prospect than Gonzalez. Stokes a right-handed batter, Gonzalez a lefty. Evans steps off the mound, steps back onto the rubber now. Ball and a strike on Gonzalez, right on at second base, 1 out, just underway, top of the first. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice play by Shopak. Keep that ball in front of him. Wright cannot advance. 2-1 the count. Nice curveball. Caught the outside corner. Took something off of that. Just a little get it over one. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch, fastball away. And the count is run full. to 3-2. In that Scorpions-Raptors game, Scott Hairston of the Scorpions, Diamondbacks farmhand, home run, 2 runs batted in. Kelly for the Raptors, 3 for 5, a double and 2 runs batted in. That was yesterday's ball game. Fastball just missed inside, ball 4. So first walk issued by Evans. After he retired the first 2 batters rather easily, a ground ball and a fly ball, gave up a double to right, and now a walk to Gonzalez. And Desert Dogs trying to keep the Saguaros at bay. They have a runner in scoring position. John Knott from the Padres steps in. Not a tall right-handed hitter. Takes a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. A .243 average for Mr. Knott. 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. And he hits a slow roller to the right side. Schrager, the second baseman's got it. Throws on to Johnson in time for out number 3. So nothing doing in their half of the first inning for Peoria. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score from Mesa. Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
Right now, fall is in full color at Kohl's. Kohl's has all the brands your family loves, like Nike, Levi's, Dockers, Mudd, Lee, Oshkosh, and many more. Every size, every color, fully stocked. And with Kohl's great sale prices, you can bundle up without spending a bundle. Plus, you'll enjoy Kohl's hassle-free returns, stroller carts, easy checkouts, and storefront parking. So come on in and see what's new for fall at Kohl's. Kohl's. Shop happy, leave happy.
Hey, Cardinals fans, STLCardinals.com is the official website for Cardinals information. Don't miss a second of the action. STLCardinals.com is the only place for live baseball action on the net with game day audio. Watch video highlights of every game with postgame.tv. Heading to the ballpark? Buy tickets to any game and buy the latest Cardinal gear online at the shop. For diehard Cards fans like you, STLCardinals.com, the #1 site for Cardinals fans.
Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is the ultimate after you had a successful major league career. Of course, I took 4 years out for World War II. I joined the Navy 2 days after Pearl Harbor, and I'm very proud to be an American and hope I've been a good one.
Relive your fondest memories of Bob Feller and see his Hall of Fame plaque at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. For more information, visit us on the web at baseballhalloffame.org or call 888 Hall of Fame.
Bases are loaded. There's the hot shot to 11-year-old right fielder Smith. Smith relays the ball to Baker. Baker fires to Ellis. Ellis to Purdy. Purdy to Stern. And Stern can cut off Mascot. Now that's
teamwork. Just one lesson kids learn through the Baseball Tomorrow Fund, a partnership between Major League Baseball and its players that connects kids with baseball and softball programs worldwide. To learn more, visit baseballtomorrowfund.com.
Now, bottom of the first inning, and let's run down the starting lineup for the home team. The Mesa Desert Dogs, first place in the National Division, 13-13. Rich Thompson from the Pirates, the center fielder, leads it off. Takes a pitch in there for strike 1. Freddie Bynum bats second from the A's. He's the shortstop. J.R. House, the DH, bats third from the Pirates. Dan Johnson, cleanup hitter at first base from the Athletics. Nick Swisher, also from the Athletics, bats fifth in left field. Pitch missed outside, a ball and a strike. Kelly Shopak, the Boston Red Sox catcher, bats sixth, batting seventh. Also out of the Red Sox, Tony Schrager, the second baseman. It's Corey Smith batting eighth at third base from the Indians. As Thompson fouls one off, a ball and 2 strikes. And Chris Duffy will bat ninth in right field, also out of the Pirates organization. So it's Thompson, Bynum, House, Johnson, Swisher, Shopak, Schrager, Smith, and Duffy for the Desert Dogs, facing the right-hander Trevor Hutchinson out of the Florida Marlins organization. Hutchinson has struggled down here, 0-2, and a 6.60 earned run average in 4 starts. 15 innings of work, 23 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 4 walks. A big right-hander, 6'5", 220-pounder. Breaking ball hit to the right side. 2 hopper, right to Schrager at second. Throws on to first in time, to Gotro at second. for round number 1. So 1 up and 1 down. That'll bring up Freddie Bynum, the shortstop. Bynum out of the athletics organization, hitting from the left side against the right-hander Hutchinson. Takes a fastball, high ball 1. A 300 average for Bynum. He does have a home run, 6 runs batted in, and decent little speed. Pitch missed away, 2-0. Right at third base is just about at the cut of the grass. Gonzalez slightly behind the bag at first base. 2-0 on the way, missed outside. And Hutchinson has fallen behind at 3-0. Trevor Hutchinson, the brother of former quarterback Chad Hutchinson, or I should say current quarterback now, Chad Hutchinson. Also a former minor league player. The pitch missed way outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk issued by Hutch. Man on for Mesa, and that'll bring up J.R. House from the Pirates. But Hutchinson, a third-round selection by the Fish in 2002. But this past season was just his first year. And he split time between Jupiter in the Florida State League and Carolina in the Southern League, A-ball and AA. 9-2 and a 2.77 in 13 starts for Jupiter, and then 3-3 with a 3.86 earned run average in 6 starts, 8 total ball games for Class AA Carolina. He falls behind House, a ball and no strikes, and he throws over to first base. Bynum dives back safely. House chops one foul, wide of the bag at third. Nice play by Tony Beasley, the manager of the Desert Dogs, coaching over at third base. Count is even at a ball and a strike. House, a power-hitting prospect, a catcher of the Pirates, getting the start as DH. Snap throw to first, and Bynum once again dives back. No tag by Gonzalez. But House, a 259 average down here. 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Another throw over. Safe at first. And that pitch, fastball, hit House right in the back, the small of the back area. So a hit batter for Hutchinson. As I mentioned, his struggle with his control down here. A 4-pitch walk to Freddie Bynum, and now a hit batter. And just like Peoria in the top of the first inning, Mesa with runners at first and second base, 1 out. And Dan Johnson out of the athletics organization will step in. Johnson, a left-handed hitter, getting the start at first. Takes a breaking ball low for ball 1. Listening to some scouts that are around here, of course. They're not completely sold on Dan Johnson as an everyday first baseman from a power standpoint, as that pitch missed outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And as witnessed, Johnson does have 3 home runs, but he's more of a gap-to-gap type of guy with 11 doubles down here. Two-0 pitch on the way, missed low and away. 3 balls and no strikes. So Hutchinson getting himself into deep trouble here, and it is his own doing. Working from the stretch, the 3-0 from the right-hander. Pulled down the right field line, base hit. Over to cut it off is Aguila. Waved around from third is Bynum. He'll score, and the Desert Dogs have a 1-0 lead. And why not? Knowing that Hutchinson has got to come in there with a strike, Beasley gives Johnson the green light, and he delivers with an RBI single. That's his 26th run batted in of the Arizona Fall League. And that'll give him the brief lead as he is tied with Jason Du Bois of the Mesa Solar Sox and of the Chicago Cubs organization. They both came into today's action with 25 ribeye. J.R. House ended up going to third base, so runners at the corners. There's a visit from Peoria's pitching coach, Blaine Beatty. And now he makes his way back to that first base dugout. First pitch swinging is Nick Swisher, and he fouls one back to the screen. Oh, and 1 the count. Swisher getting the start in left field. Played center field a couple of games ago in which we broadcasted. The 0-1, skies one, deep to left field. Nelson is going back, still going back. He's at the wall, will make the catch. Tagging from third is House. He'll come across the score easily. It's a sacrifice fly for Nick Swisher, a 2-0 lead for the Desert Dogs. Brad Nelson in left field had to make a long run to his right towards that corner. But he's able to track it down. Credit Swisher with the sac fly and his 9th run batted in. So 2 outs now. Kelly Shopak, the catcher of the Red Sox organization, takes a pitch on the corner for strike 1. Shopak, not .298 average, a home run, 7 runs batted in. A right-handed batter, whose name, by the way, has been mentioned with some of these rumors that are floating around in a proposed scenario, as far as trade scenario, between the Boston Red Sox and Texas Rangers. 1-1, he drives one to center field, and Meyer is not going to get to it. One hops the fence. Around third is Dan Johnson. He's being waved around. Here comes the throw, and it's not going to be in time. And a 2-out double for Kelly Shopak that gives the Desert Dogs a 3-0 lead. Dan Johnson does not run very well, but he's able to leg it out all the way from first base. And Trevor Hutchinson has struggled here in the first inning, having given up 3 runs. A walk, a hit batter, a single, sac fly, and a double. As the first pitch fastball misses high to Tony Schrager for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, curveball in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Huber. Shot to his right side, but Shopak, a fellow catcher, cannot advance to third, so he holds on at second base. And Hutchinson is follow behind again. 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs, bottom of the first, 3 runs in for the Desert Dogs. And there's a line shot right to the shortstop for Maniac. So Schrager hit it right on the button, but right at the shortstop for Maniac for the 3rd out. But not before the Desert Dogs. With 3 runs on the board on 2 hits, they do strand a runner. As we've played 1, Desert Dogs lead it 3-0. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to alsa.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Bob Damaris in to throw in. Cepeda pulling to second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York, a tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall of Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings and off-season moves on the Hot Stove Shows. Get updates on Winter League and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number one baseball source all year long. This is MLB.com Radio. Well, Kyle Evans has just concluded his warm-up tosses as we head to the top of the second inning. Mesa Desert Dogs putting 3 runs on the board on just 2 hits. A single by Dan Johnson. He picked up an RBI there. Then the sac fly by Nick Swisher made it 2-0. And then the RBI double by Kelly Shopak. And that's where we stand right now. 3-0, top of the second. And Chris Aguila, the right fielder from the Marlins, steps in, takes the first pitch fastball at the knees. Strike one. Aguila, a .229 average, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Takes the pitch high. He was the count at 1-1. Aguila with 4 doubles down here. Also has 3 triples, so good speed. Holds the hands up high, swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two fastball, sky to center field. Thompson moves over to his left a couple of steps, camps under it, makes the catch. We're out number 1. So that'll bring up Justin Huber with 1 out, nobody on here in the second. Now, tomorrow afternoon, it'll be the Grand Canyon Rafters visiting the Mesa Solar Sox right here at Hohokam Park, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So be sure to tune us in. As live and exclusive Arizona Fall League action continues throughout the week. And then Monday through Friday of next week, with the culmination of the championship game occurring on Saturday, November 15th. 0-1 pitch to Huber. Good curveball, slow curveball, caught the corner. No balls and 2 strikes to the Mets farmhand, a .217 average. No home runs, 5 runs batted in out of Australia. A chance to meet him last year at Miller Park during the Futures game. Curveball away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seems to have a very good head on his shoulders, very low key. Out of Emerald, Victoria, Australia. Although he was born in Melbourne. .284 average in St. Lucie A ball before getting called up to Binghamton. Double-A, hit .264 there. Hit 9 jacks at St. Lucie, 6 at Binghamton. A right-handed hitter, 1-2 curveball, pulls one down the left field line. Is that hooking? Foul. Third base umpire Jeff Burr making the call. And it's such a tough pitch to keep fair. A little breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Shopak, the catcher, goes out to talk to Evans, his pitcher. Talk about location. Give you the umpiring crew for today. Dusty Dellinger behind the plate. Darren Williams at first. Andy Dowdy at second base, and the aforementioned Jeff Burr at third base. Everyone in the Arizona Fall League trying to get their work in and hopefully get called up. 1-2 fastball away. 2-2 the count. Evans a long look into his catcher. 2-2 pitch on the way, fastball low. And the count has run full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good little crowd on hand here in Mesa, line of scouts. Swing and a chop foul behind the plate. So the count will remain 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three nothing, top of the second. And 1 out for Peoria. Evans took too much time, so Huber stepped out, now steps back in. Payoff pitch on the way. Fastball inside, ball 4. Good tailing fastball in on the hands of Huber. He was able to lay off of it. Second walk issued by Evans. Puts a man on for Brad Nelson. Nelson, a Brewers farmhand, left-handed hitter, takes a fastball in there, strike 1. 270 down here. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. Throw over to first base, and Huber back safely. Nelson, a 4th-round selection by Milwaukee in 2001. Out of Algona, Iowa. Had a good year at A-ball, High Desert, hitting .311. Got called up to Double-A and hit .210. That Double-A ball club for the Milwaukee Brewers, the Huntsville Stars, just stacked with prospects this past season. The 0-1 pitch, pull to the right side. Johnson's got it. Tags first, throws a second, a tag by Bynum in time for the double play. A 1-6 inning ending, a 3-6 inning ending double play. Gets the Desert Dogs out of it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left out. We hit to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Desert Dogs. You listen to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
This is Andy Pettit of the New York Yankees. It's never easy to stand your ground when facing the best hitters in the game, but with practice, you gain confidence. To teach values that go beyond the diamond, Major League Baseball charities and Boys and Girls Clubs of America have teamed up to bring baseball and softball to kids around the world. Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, boys and girls learn about teamwork, fair play, and respect. Because when kids believe in themselves, amazing things can happen.
Get the perfect gift for the baseball fan in your life at MLB Shop on MLB.com. You can purchase jackets, jerseys, caps, and clothes for men, women, and children. Get a snazzy new batting practice jersey or a classic replica jersey of your favorite team. You can even customize your jersey. Best of all, it can all be done online. Plus, the MLB Shop has baseball cards, bobblehead dolls, books, videos, and so much more. All purchases are private and secure, and the MLB Shop accepts all major credit cards. Click on the MLB Shop button at the top right of MLB.com and get that perfect gift today.
Raven, we've got bandits at 1 o'clock.
Fights on.
Engaging now.
What kind of person can handle an F-16 dueling in a Mach-speed dogfight? Why, a math teacher, of course, when she's in the National Guard and Reserve. Nearly half of today's military are members of the Guard and Reserve, but they can't do it without their employer support. If you're an employer, visit www.esgr.org and learn how to do your part. After all, their response depends on yours. A public service message from ESGR and the Ad Council.
The bottom of the second inning we go, 3-0. Desert Dogs leading it. Trevor Hutchinson including his warm-up tosses now. Coming up for the Desert Dogs, it'll be 8-9-1. Corey Smith, Chris Duffy, back to the top of the order in Rich Thompson. Desert Dogs pushing across 3 runs in their half of the first inning. Even though Kyle Evans doesn't look as sharp as we've seen him down here, he is getting the job done, getting a double play ball to end the top of the second. Swing and a miss by Smith to lead off the second. Strike one. Smith, Corey Smith, out of the Cleveland Indians organization, right-handed batter. Slightly open stance from the right side. 0-1, pops it up foul on the right side, and that'll find its way into the seats here. 0-2 the count. But Smith hitting .211 down here, a home run, 5 runs batted in. He does have 6 doubles and a triple. Peoria straight away defensively against Corey Smith, who pops one up towards center field. Moving over is Meyer to his left, and on the run reaches up and makes the catch. Nice play by Drew Meyer in center field. Not a whole lot of wind to contend with this afternoon, but a ball from my angle appeared to just be a blooper. Ended up carrying out deeper than I thought, but Meyer is able to track down the fly ball from Smith. That'll bring up Chris Duffy. Takes a pitch in there for strike one. The 0-1 slap foul towards that third base dugout. A lot of the Desert Dogs having to duck out of the way. Mesa occupying that third base dugout, Peoria on the first base side. In Hohokam Park, of course, here in Mesa, Arizona, the spring training home of the Chicago Cubs. The 0-2 curveball low. 1-2 the count. Duffy getting the start in right field, a .303 average, good speed. No home runs, 11 runs batted in. And he does have 3 stolen bases. Hits from the left side. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Fastball missing inside. Duffy raising those arms, getting out of the way. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and down goes Duffy. Second out here of the second inning. First punch out for Hutchinson. That's exactly how he started the bottom of the first. Duffy goes down swinging, and Rich Thompson, the batter, will step in. Thompson bites one off, is able to foul it back to the screen behind the plate. 0-1. Thompson 0 for 1, grounded to the right side. His first time up. And here's a kid that's got great speed and could be a sleeper for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 0-1, pulls one to the right side towards the hole. Gautreaux bobbles. He's got to hurry. He throws the first, not in time. There's that speed I was talking about. The minute Gautreaux bobbled that baseball, he might as well just put it in his pocket because Thompson can flat out fly. Let's see how they rule that, whether it be a hit or an error. It was a tough play for Gautreaux, and it is ruled a hit. And rightfully so. So that'll save an at-bat for the shortstop, Freddie Bynum. There goes Thompson to throw down by Justin Huber, not in time. And Thompson has his 9th stolen base of the Arizona Fall League. Not wasting any time. Hutchinson with a big leg kick. The 1-0 to Bynum, off speed low. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 missing low again. Hutchinson has struggled now with his control against Bynum, who walked on 4 straight pitches in his first at-bat. Hutchinson comes set, checks the runner, 3-0 on the way. Caught the corner on the outside part, 3-1. One out, bottom of the second. Runner on at second base for the Desert Dogs. J.R. House awaits on deck. Three one pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Hutchinson, kept it down low. Bynum could not make contact. The count is full to 3-2. Payoff pitch, fastball away, ball 4. Bynum has worked his second consecutive walk. This runner's at first and second base, one out. And a pretty good power hitting prospect of J.R. House stepping in. Other action today. Mesa Solar Sox travel to the Peoria Javelinas. 1:05 start. Tim Corcoran getting the start for the Solar Sox. Cameron Reimers for the Javelinas. And the Grand Canyon Raptors will host the Scottsdale Scorpions. Dustin Nippert, the Diamondbacks farmhand, going for Scottsdale against Ramon Ramirez, looking for his third win for the Raptors. J.R. House has fallen behind at 0-2 strikes. There is a schedule change as far as the Arizona Fall League is concerned. The upcoming November 10th game, the 0-2 curveball caught the outside corner, and down goes House. That is the third out of the inning. Scoreboard had one out. So Hutchinson's able to get 2 strikeouts in the inning, but he does strand 2 after giving up a hit to Thompson. We've played 2 innings. Desert Dogs lead it 3-0 as you're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to alsa.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in to score, and Cepeda pulling the second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York. A tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall of Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings and off-season moves on the Hot Stove Show. Get updates on winter leagues and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number 1 baseball source all year long. This is MLB.com radio. At top of the third inning we go, 3-0. Mesa Desert Dogs leading the Peoria Saguaros. As the center fielder of the Rangers organization, Drew Meyer, will lead it off against Kyle Evans. And before the bottom of the second inning concluded, started to talk about a schedule change. But the 2003 pocket schedule, there's a game on November 10th between the Desert Dogs and the Saguaros. It will be played at Peoria Sports Complex, not at Mesa as stated on that schedule. November 11th game between the Scottsdale Scorpions and the Raptors will be played at Scottsdale Stadium at 7:05 p.m. And the November 13th game between the Saguaros and the Raptors will be played at Scottsdale Stadium at 7:05 p.m. as well. Chopper to the right side. Johnson, the first baseman, on to Evans, who was covering on the play for the first out. So 3-1, the put out of Meyer goes. And that'll bring up J.J. Fermaniak, the leadoff hitter and shortstop. And Evans has retired the first batter of every innings thus far. Maniac chops 1-2 bouncer to Smith, bobbles it, steps back, plants, throws across in time at first base. Corey Smith got a gun over at third base. Mentioned it was a 2-bouncer. He backed up a little bit, let the ball play him, kept that ball in front of him, did not try to rush, and made a good, strong throw over at first base. Dan Johnson stretched, but he really didn't have to. That's the second time for Maniac has grounded out to third. 2 outs here in the third inning. And Jay Gautreau will step up. Gautreau takes the off-speed pitch away, ball 1. Gautreau, as I mentioned, out of the Padres organization, 0 for 1. Flew out to center field in his first AB. There's a broken bat, Fister into right field. That falls in there for a base hit. This is the second hit issued by Evans to go along with the 2 walks. But it's a hit nonetheless, puts a runner on for the Saguaros. That'll bring up David Wright, the owner of the other hit. A double down the left field line in the first inning. Wright, as I mentioned earlier, out of the Mets organization, first round pick, 38th overall, back in 2001. Hickory High School in Chesapeake, Virginia. Took a pitch outside, ball 1. This kid's got some power. Hit 270 at Port St. Lucie in the Florida State League. 15 home runs, 75 runs batted in. 1-0, just outside. 2-0. And that says a lot when you could drive the ball over the fence 15 times in that Florida State League. A lot of big ballparks down there because many of those are the spring training sites for the big league clubs. He pops one up towards right field. Duffy comes in, shading his eyes, and the right fielder will make the catch for the third out. So nothing doing for Peoria in their half of the third inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. Desert Dogs leading at 3-0. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Derek Jeter. When I was growing up, my parents and I would go to the schoolyard every weekend and play ball. They teach me how if I practiced and didn't give up, my swing could get better. But if I got in front of the ball and wasn't afraid, I could stop it. But there weren't any shortcuts to becoming a better player. But if I believed in myself, I could do it. Funny, all that time, I thought they were teaching me how to play baseball.
Helping your kids find a dream can help keep them off drugs. This message brought to you by Partnership for Drug-Free America. Visit us at drugfreeamerica.org.
Avoid going into spring training wondering where the free agents have landed and what your team looks like heading into the 2004 season. Let MLB.com radio keep you informed with our Hot Stove Report. Mainstays Seth Everett, Billy Sample, and Jonathan Mayo bring you the most up-to-date information while they chat with general managers, scouts, and those inside. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean we stop thinking baseball. The Hot Stove Report, found only at MLB.com radio.
Hi, this is Tommy Lasorda. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my good friend Ben Platt for the great interviews he does on MLB.com radio.
Well, thank you, Tommy. You know, I try to interview everyone in baseball, from Hall of Famers like you to the new stars just coming on the scene, every morning on the Baseball Breakfast with Billy Sample and Jonathan Mayo, and afternoons on deck with Seth Everett and Victor Rojas.
Hey, Ben, one thing I don't get is, what's this Benny P stuff?
Tommy, it's just a radio nickname they gave me back in the station.
Benny P. this, Benny P. that. You weren't Benny P. 10 years ago when you started out covering the Dodgers. I'm one of the few guys that knew you when you were poor. Man, I thought you were going to soil yourself every time you did an interview with me.
Man, last year he accused me of starting the Kingman interview, now this. The Benny P. interviews, exclusively on MLB.com radio.
Benny P., what a joke.
Oh, Dan Johnson leads it off for the Desert Dogs in their half of the third inning, leading it 3-0. Victor Rojas with you from Mesa's Hohokam Park. My pleasure to bring you Arizona Fall League action as Johnson grounds one to the second baseman, Gotro. He scoops it up and throws on the first, 4-out number 1. So Hutchinson trying to settle down into a rhythm here. Struggled in that first inning. And after he got Thompson in that first inning to ground out, he walked Freddie Bynum on 4 pitches, hit J.R. House in the back, gave up an RBI single to Dan Johnson, a sac fly to Nick Swisher, and an RBI double to Kelly Shopak. And that's exactly where we stand right now. 3-0 Desert Dogs. As Nick Swisher takes a breaking ball in there, strike 1. Swisher with that sac fly. So no official at bat for him. Picked up his 9th run batted in. Swings and drives one into right center field. That's going to go for extra bases. That splits Aguila and Meyer. Towards the wall it goes. Around second is Swisher. He's going to try for 3. Here comes the relay throw. In time. And Swisher gunned down at third base. And a great throw by the second baseman, Tony Schrager. Or Jake Gotro, pardon me. It almost looked as if Swisher, as he dove head first into third base, kind of stopped when he hit the dirt. But a nice tag by David Wright on the short hop on the throw. So credit Swisher with a double, his 3rd of the Arizona Fall League, and a put out. 9-4-5 for round number 2. So Kelly Shopak will step up. Right-handed hitter drove one to dead center field for a double, his first AB. Fastball high for ball 1. Shopak has got some pop, swung and a miss there. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Mentioned Shopak and his power. 22 home runs in the 2 years he's been playing professional baseball, including 12 this past season at Double-A Portland. Fouls one back to the screen. Evens the count of 2-2. Out of Fort Worth, Texas, selected by the Red Sox. 2nd round. Out of Baylor University as well. 282 average at Double-A Portland. 30 doubles, 2 triples, 12 home runs, 60 ribeye. Fastball jammed him. Fister towards the shortstop for Maniacs. Got to hurry. Throws on the run. And in time, 4-out number 3. So a nice inning by Hutchinson. Gave up the double to Nick Swisher to right center field, but a nice defensive play by the right fielder to Schrager to right to gun him down. And then get Shopak on the ground ball out. We've played 3 innings from Mesa. It's 3-0. Desert Dogs are listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
Right now, fall is in full color at Kohl's. Kohl's has all the brands your family loves, like Nike, Levi's, Dockers, Mudd, Lee, Oshkosh, and many more. Every size, every color, fully stocked. And with Kohl's great sale prices, you can bundle up without spending a bundle. Plus, you'll enjoy Kohl's hassle-free returns, stroller carts, easy checkouts, and storefront parking. So come on in and see what's new for fall at Kohl's. Kohl's. Shop happy, leave happy.
Hey, Cardinals fans, STLCardinals.com is the official website for Cardinals information. Don't miss a second of the action. STLCardinals.com is the only place for live baseball action on the net with game day audio. Watch video highlights of every game with postgame.tv. Heading to the ballpark? Buy tickets to any game and buy the latest Cardinal gear online at the shop. For diehard Cards fans like you, STLCardinals.com, the #1 site for Cardinals fans.
Being inducted in the Hall of Fame is the ultimate after you had a successful major league career. Of course, I took 4 years out for World War II. I joined the Navy 2 days after Pearl Harbor, and I'm very proud to be an American and hope I've been a good one.
Relive your fondest memories of Bob Feller and see his Hall of Fame plaque at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. For more information, visit us on the web at baseballhalloffame.org or call 888-HALL-OF-FAME.
Bases are loaded. There's the hot shot to 11-year-old right fielder Smith. Smith relays the ball to Baker. Baker fires to Ellis. Ellis to Purdy. Purdy to Stearns. And Stearns from cutoff mascot. Now that's
teamwork. Just one lesson kids learn through the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. A partnership between Major League Baseball and its players that connects kids with baseball and softball programs worldwide. To learn more, visit baseballtomorrowfund.com.
Top of the fourth inning we go, 3-0. Mesa Desert Dogs leading the Peoria Saguaros. And leading it off in the top of the fourth will be Adrian Gonzalez from the Rangers organization. Left-handed batter swinging the first pitch, one hopper right to the second baseman Schrager. He's got it on the first, and one pitch, one out to lead off the fourth inning. We'll do some research here, but I believe Shopak and Evans, they both attended Baylor University at the same time. The battery mates very familiar with themselves. And John Knott will step up, swings the first pitch off the glove of Evans, right to Schrager at second base, throws on the run, and just like that, 2 outs. So Knott retired 1-4-3. 2 pitches, 2 outs, and Chris Aguila, out of the Florida Marlins organization, steps in. Aguila for a run, flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Right-handed batter, first pitch from Evans, right down the pipe, strike one. Well, coming up in the bottom of the fourth inning, Rico Washington from the Padres organization will join us. Also get you up to speed as to what's going on around Major League Baseball. News and notes. 1-1 from Evans, breaking ball low. 2 balls and a strike. Desert Dogs with 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. That's all the scoring so far. Peoria with no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Desert Dogs 3 runs on 4 hits, breaking ball low. And Evans has fallen behind 3-1. Justin Huber waits on deck. 3-1 pitch on the way. That's lined into center field. Thompson coming on, makes a grab as he falls to the knees. He's able to hang on for out number 3. So an easy inning for Evans here in the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. Into the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-0. Desert Dogs leading it. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Derek Jeter. When I was growing up, my parents and I would go to the schoolyard every weekend and play ball. They teach me how if I practiced and didn't give up, my swing could get better. But if I got in front of the ball and wasn't afraid, I could stop it. But there weren't any shortcuts to becoming a better player. But if I believed in myself, I could do it. Funny, all that time, I thought they were teaching me how to play baseball.
Helping your kids find a dream can help keep them off drugs. This message brought to you by Partnership for Drug-Free America. Visit us at drugfreeamerica.org.
Avoid going into spring training wondering where the free agents have landed and what your team looks like heading into the 2004 season. Let MLB.com radio keep you informed with our Hot Stove Report. Mainstays Seth Everett, Billy Sample, and Jonathan Mayo bring you the most up-to-date information while they chat with general managers, scouts, and those inside. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean we stop thinking baseball. The Hot Stove Report, found only at MLB.com radio.
Hi, this is Tommy Lasorda. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my good friend Ben Platt for the great interviews he does on MLB.com radio.
Well, thank you, Tommy. You know, I try to interview everyone in baseball, from Hall of Famers like you to the new stars just coming on the scene, every morning on the Baseball Breakfast with Billy Sample and Jonathan Mayo, and afternoons on deck with Seth Everett and Victor Rojas.
Hey, Ben, one thing I don't get is, what's this Benny P stuff?
Tommy, it's just a radio nickname they gave me back in the station.
Benny P this, Benny P that. You weren't Benny P 10 years ago when you started out covering the Dodgers. I'm one of the few guys that knew you when you were poor. Man, I thought you were going to soil yourself every time you did an interview with me.
Man, last year he accused me of starting the Kingman interview, now this. The Benny P interviews, exclusively on MLB.com radio.
Benny P, what a joke.
Bottom of the fourth inning, I should say. I'm stumbling, bumbling as Stacy Flores, Director of Public Relations here for the Arizona Fall League, visiting in the booth, and smells divine. 3-0, Desert Dogs leading it. As we welcome in Rico Washington for the Padres organization. Rico is somewhat nervous, somewhat reserved about BSing with his good friend Victor Rojas here, but this is the third time you've been in the Arizona Fall League. Any difference between this year compared to the other two times you've been here?
Not too much of a difference. Basically, me being here 3 times is a difference, you know, but that's good on my part. The first 2 times I came out here, I was with the Pirates. Now I'm here with the Padres. Change is pretty good for me, you know, different organization. Things are pretty much going the way I want them to go. And just being out here with all these great players is just great atmosphere, you know. Past 2 years, I was out here. I mean, we, like Stacey was talking about, Albert Pujols. He basically put on a show, and I actually do remember him. And a couple of other guys I played on the team with, as she mentioned, Juan Uribe. Saw him play in the big leagues. Antonio Perez, I actually played against him this year in AA, and he wound up going to the big leagues for a couple of weeks. There's so many other names that I actually can just name off the top of my head, but it's a great league. These guys come out here and just put on a show every day, and basically just trying to put up some numbers to get to the big leagues.
Sure. Does it make it any easier for you? You know, you're playing on against the ball club today, of course, in the Desert Dogs. Former Pirates are on there, and I don't know if you know many of them. Tony Beasley, the skipper, and we had Ryan Doman on the other day. He seems like a pretty wacky dude. But do you have some friends that are already here before that you knew were coming?
Actually, you know, the guys that are with the Pirates organization, such as Tony Beasley, the manager, he's a good guy. He was actually in Hickory when I was in AA Altoona. I also played with J.R. House for a year in Altoona. And the other guys, they was at the lower levels when I was with the Pirates organization. And there's a lot of new faces out here. I got like 2-3 years in age over a lot of these guys out here this year. A lot of guys are young, you know, 19, 20, 21, which I'm still young. I won't consider myself old.
Sure.
But a lot of new faces. I'm getting to meet a lot of guys and getting to know them and see what happens from there. I'd like to see a lot of these guys in the big leagues, which I know I will. And I'm just waiting for today to actually get a call up myself.
Sure.
And put on a show.
Now, what have the Padres told you to work on specifically down here, or have they said anything to you?
Basically, they haven't really told me to work on anything. My role is basically a utility guy, and I can pretty much play every position on the field besides pitching and center field. So I just basically got to keep up the work and just continue to work hard and put up numbers and keep proving myself. Hopefully this coming up year, I get to go to big league camp and fight for a job, and worst come to worst, I'll start out in AAA.
Sure. Well, let's just get you up to speed. That's what's going on here in the fourth inning. Desert Dogs have pushed across a run. Schrager led off with a single, a walk to Corey Smith, and Duffy was trying to bunt him over. And the catcher Huber threw to first base off the glove of Gautreaux covering. That scored Schrager. Smith went to third base. Runners at the corner. Still nobody out. 4-0 Desert Dogs leading it. As far as the Pirates are concerned, when you were with them, you know, you always knew that there was some rebuilding going on. It almost seemed like every year there's a rebuilding process. Dave Littlefield comes in place of Cam Bonifay, somewhat restores order. They made a big trade last year with your now new ball club, the San Diego Padres. The Padres seem to be a ball club that always has been stacked with prospects. It always seemed like they could always filter guys up throughout the system. Now with the guys that they have at the big league level, you mentioned hopefully cracking that big league roster next year. That's a pretty good lineup to try to crack, especially with the addition of Giles and possibly the addition of Jason Kendall. You know, that's still being talked about a little bit.
You're right. Basically, I was caught up actually in, the Pirates actually, getting new guys in every year, player development, new GM, and I got kind of lost in the shuffle. And, they're a great organization, but I think they make too many trades and they just don't stick with their system. But, I found a new home, and such as the Padres, I'm basically still learning actually how their system works, but hopefully they can crack it down and find a spot for me, actually. But, hey, trades, it's business, so as ball players, we never know what's going to happen. Things are happening every day, so I wish they wouldn't make a lot of trades and sign a lot of free agents, but that's something that's going to actually happen every year throughout the years. But I wish that every organization would basically stick to the amount of league players and bring them up instead of going outside of the system and getting so many other guys to bring them in. But every ball team has to go out and find a player that actually fit their system to put the piece of the puzzle together. So,
and living in San Diego wouldn't be too shabby.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good town.
Great town, great place to be. Hopefully, I can make San Diego my home someday.
In the new ballpark.
In the new ballpark, which is coming next year, 2004. It's going to be a beautiful ballpark, and I hope I can make my debut next year. I've been waiting for a couple of years now. Still haven't happened, but as long as I got this jersey on, I still can go out there and play with the best of them and prove myself. But every organization is different, and every ball player hopes to get his chance. But business is business, and we just got to go out and do our job, basically.
Yeah. Until they rip that jersey off your back, keep playing. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
Hey, I wish you nothing but the very best next year, and I appreciate your time and coming up here. And now you can give Stacy Flores a little bit of flack on the way back down.
All righty. Thank you.
You got it, man. Enjoy the rest of the time down here.
Thanks.
It's Rico Washington of the San Diego Padres organization joining us here in the booth. 4-0, the Desert Dogs leading it. There was a double play, kind of an unusual double play, a little comebacker by Thompson to the pitcher. Hutchinson threw to second base, forced out Chris Duffy, and Corey Smith trying to score from third base was thrown out for the second out. So just like that, there are two outs, a man on at second base. As Thompson just stole his second base of the ballgame, now has 10. Freddie Bynum just struck out, I should say, for the third out. So one run on one hit, one error, one man left on base. We've played 4 innings from Mesa, 4-0. Desert Dogs leading it. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to ALSA.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in the score, and Cepeda pulling the second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York, a tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall of Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings and off-season moves on the Hot Stove Show. Get updates on Winter League and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number one baseball source all year long. This is MLB.com Radio. Out of the top of the fifth inning we go. 4-0. Desert Dogs leading it. Our thanks, of course, to Rico Washington out of the San Diego Padres organization for visiting with us here in our broadcast booth at Mesa's Hohokam Park. So the Desert Dogs had something special happening in their half of the fourth inning, and unfortunately just kind of unraveled. They only got one run to show for it. First pitch from Evans, that hits Huber on the left elbow. And Justin Huber on board to lead off the top of the fifth inning for Peoria. So that's the second hit batter in this game, one for each side. So not sure if Evans atoning for J.R. House being hit earlier in this game. But Huber's on at first. And it'll be Brad Nelson stepping in. Nelson takes the pitch high for ball one. The left fielder 0 for 1, grounded into a double play in his first at-bat. A 3-6 inning-ending double play back in the second inning. Evans from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. That's pulled right side over the head of Johnson into right field. Around second is Huber. He'll head to third. Duffy gets the ball back into the infield. And a base hit for Brad Nelson puts runners at the corners. And for the first time in this game, a serious scoring threat for Peoria. Nobody out. Andrew Meyer will step up. Meyer out of the Rangers organization, 0 for 1, grounded out to first back in the third inning. Takes a breaking ball high for ball one. Action now in Peoria's bullpen. Not much left for Trevor Hutchinson. One 1-0 pitch high, ball two. And it looks like the right-hander Lincoln Holdscomb out of the Marlins organization starting to loosen for the Peoria Saguaros. 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. From Evans is right down the pipe. 3 balls and a strike. Nobody out here to start off the fifth inning. Runners at first and third base. 3-1 pitch. Skies one down the left field line. That'll slice into the seats. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That'll get you up to speed as to what's going on around Major League Baseball. The Cincinnati Reds have released right-handed starter Ryan Dempster. Was disappointed ever since coming over from the Florida Marlins. Dempster, 3-7 and a 6.54 ERA in 20 games for the Reds. A third to first move. And everyone back safely. That was last year. He missed the last 2 months of the season after going Tommy John as Meyer fouls one back behind the plate. So Dempster's released. Seattle Mariners have re-signed Edgar Martinez, their designated hitter, to a one-year contract, so he'll be back at age 41. Evans will come set. 3-2 pitch on the way. Another foul ball, this time to the left side. And head of play. So another 3-2 count. Or I should say another 3-2 pitch upcoming. New York Yankees have named Don Mattingly as their new hitting coach, replacing Rick Dowd. Willie Randolph goes from third base coach to bench coach. Lee Mazzilli, unless he's hired by the Baltimore Orioles, will go from first base coach to third base coach, and Luis Sojo will take over at first base. Pickoff attempt. They've got the left fielder Brad Nelson hung up between first and second. A good throw by Johnson to Bynum for out number one. So the pickoff goes 1-3-6 for the first out. And that was a third to first move. The count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes on Drew Meyer. Justin Huber on at third base now. Evans sets, payoff pitch. Fastball right off the glove of Evans towards the second baseman Schrager. Huber will score, throws on to first, and in time. A little soft liner back at Evans on his heels. Could have made the catch, but because he was backpedaling a little bit, deflected it right to Schrager, who threw out Meyer at first base, but Meyer picks up the RBI and Peoria gets on the board. Their first run of the game, now trailing 4-1. Two outs, though, on top of the order, J.J. Fermaniak stepping up. Also around Major League Baseball, San Diego Padres have announced that Randy Smith, new director of professional and international scouting, the former general manager of the Detroit Tigers, latches on with his good buddy Kevin Towers in San Diego. 2 outs, top of the fifth inning, 4-1 Desert Dogs. Breaking ball, drilled into center field. Thompson's got a beat, though, and he'll make the catch for the third out. So Fermaniak 0 for 3 in this ball game, but Peoria puts a run on the board on one hit. They don't strand any runners. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. 4-1 Desert Dogs leading it. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
Hey, baseball fans. Only MLB.com takes you straight from the ballpark to your computer. So don't miss a second of the action. Check out MLB.com, the only place for live baseball online. Get live games with MLB.tv and game day audio. See live stats with MLB.com's unique game day feature. For fans who just can't get enough of the game, MLB.com, the official site for all things baseball, the #1 site for Major League Baseball fans.
I was 0 for 11, and it was the year that we got Johnny Mize, because I want to fix my bat up for him. So I'm up there the first time using the bat and pitch it through and high and inside. I duck like that. The ball hit the bat, line drive, base hit, and then I got 199 after that.
Relive your fondest memories of Phil Rizzuto and see his Hall of Fame plaque at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. Visit us on the web at baseballhalloffame.org or call 888-HALL-OF-FAME.
What's the deal with Freddie Garcia? Mariner pitching coach Brian Price enlightens us.
What really happened with Freddie is his ball started to come up and straighten out up in the zone, and he was giving up a lot of extra base hits and home runs, throwing a lot of breaking balls to try to miss bats and things of that nature. Kind of shortened up his arm circle to get the ball down and added a slider and moved him over on the rubber. Probably the biggest thing is that he did for himself was just became more aggressive.
The hottest issues in the game, MLB.com radio.
Bottom of the fifth inning we go. And the right-hander Lincoln Holtzcomb has come in relief of Trevor Hutchinson for the Peoria Saguaros. Holtzcomb, so far down here, 1-2 and a 6.94 earned run average in 9 games. He does have 2 saves, 11 and 2/3 innings, 19 hits. He has struck out 11, walked 7. Opposing hitters batting at a .373 clip against him. And he'll be facing the heart of the order for the Desert Dogs, 3, 4, and 5, House, Johnson, and Swisher. First pitch on the way from the big right-hander, down low, ball 1. Holtzcomb, 6'4", 240-pound right-hander. Makes his home in Lacey, Washington. All arms and leg. House drives one towards right field. Aguila going back. It's off the base of the wall. House will round first and hold right there. Great throw by Chris Aguila. Getting that ball back into the infield. House does not run that well. He hit that ball so hard it ricocheted off the base of the wall right back to Aguila. So leadoff single to get things underway here in the bottom of the 5th. As Dan Johnson for the A's steps in. Right-hander Todd Pennington, also from the Indians organization, up and getting loose in Mesa's bullpen. Fastball high, ball 1. So Kyle Evans' day may be done. One-0 pitch on the way, catches the inside corner, left-hand hitting Johnson. Ball on the strike. Johnson 1 for 2, a single with an RBI in the first, grounded to second in the third. 1-1, breaking ball low, nice stop by Huber. 2-1 now. Holtzcomb, as I was saying, makes his home at Lacey, Washington. Went to Arizona Western Junior College, selected by the Marlins. 7th round back in 2001. Fastball away, 3-1 now. Split time between Greensboro, the South Atlantic League, and Jupiter, the Florida State League. Three-one pitch. Fastball caught the outside corner. Johnson thought it was ball 4. Started to head towards first base, but had to hold up. Full count now. House on at first base, nobody out. Pardon me, 1 out. Nobody out. Arguing with myself as to how many outs there are. Now, there's nobody out, although the scoreboard shows 1. House, the leadoff batter, on with a single. Payoff pitch on the way. There goes House. Swing and a miss. The throw down by Huber. It's interfered with at home plate by Dan Johnson. There is interference. Well, the runner's going to have to go back to first base. Dan Johnson swung and missed and came out in front of the home plate area. Justin Huber was trying to make a throw. He practically threw it right down into the ground. So Johnson goes down for out number 1. House back at second. That'll bring up Nick Swisher. Swisher, a left-handed hitter. 1 for 1. Doubled. And was thrown out at third base trying to stretch it into a triple. And he also had the sac fly early on. 1-0 down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch on the way outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Kelly Shopak, the catcher, awaits on deck. Swisher fouls one off, swinging 3-0. Three balls and a strike. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Mesa leading it 4-1. 3-1 pitch outside. Ball 4. So Holtzcomb has come on, given up a hit, struck out a batter, and walked a batter. That's the trifecta working. Kelly Shopik, the catcher for the Red Sox, will step in, but not before Desert Dogs pitching coach Blaine Beatty, Saguaros pitching coach Blaine Beatty, comes out and has a word with Holtzcomb. And that'll bring out Dusty Dellinger, the home plate umpire, to break up the rock pile. Nobody warming up for Peoria in their bullpen. Trevor Hutchinson went 4 innings, scattered 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 3, and allowed 4 runs in this game. So Beatty back in his dugout. Order is restored. Shopak will step in. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Swings at the first pitch, a breaking ball. Came up empty. No balls and a strike. Shopak had that double with the RBI in the first inning. Grounded short in the third. The 0-1, fastball away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Checked his swing. No, he didn't. So his home plate umpire, Dellinger. Good hard slider from Holtzcomb. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Holtzcomb sets the 1-2. Curveball just missed inside. Trying to get that breaking ball on the inside part of the plate to the right-handed batter. Had Shopak fooled, but it just missed in. Count even to 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed, and Shopak goes down swinging. Good hard fastball in on the hands. 2 outs, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Tony Schrager. First pitch to Schrager. He fouls one back to the screen. High fastball just around the letters. No balls and a strike. Schrager lined out to the shortstop to end the first inning. Singled and scored in the fourth. The 0-1 fouled off to the right side, out of play. Holtzcomb, whatever Blaine Beatty told him, has followed suit, throwing strikes. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball chopped to the left side. Third baseman Wright comes in on the infield grass, throws on the run, and in time for the third out. So nothing doing for Mesa here in their half of the 5th inning. They do get runners at first and second, but they strand 2 on 1 hit. No runs come across, no errors. We've played 5 innings. From Mesa, Desert Dogs leading at 4-1. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
This is Andy Pettit of the New York Yankees. It's never easy to stand your ground when facing the best hitters in the game, but with practice, you gain confidence. To teach values that go beyond the diamond, Major League Baseball charities and Boys and Girls Clubs of America have teamed up to bring baseball and softball to kids around the world. Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, boys and girls learn about teamwork, fair play, and respect. Because when kids believe in themselves, amazing things can happen.
Get the perfect gift for the baseball fan in your life at MLB Shop on MLB.com. You can purchase jackets, jerseys, caps, and clothes for men, women, and children. Get a snappy new batting practice jersey or a classic replica jersey of your favorite team. You can even customize your jerseys. Best of all, it can all be done online. Plus, the MLB Shop has baseball cards, bobblehead dolls, books, videos, and so much more. All purchases are private and secure, and the MLB Shop accepts all major credit cards. Click on the MLB Shop button at the top right of MLB.com and get that perfect gift today.
Raven, we've got bandits at 1 o'clock.
Fight's on.
Engaging now.
What kind of person can handle an F-16 dueling in a Mach-speed dogfight? Why, a math teacher, of course, when she's in the National Guard and Reserve. Nearly half of today's military are members of the Guard and Reserve, but they can't do it without their employer support. If you're an employer, visit www.esgr.org and learn how to do your part. After all, their response depends on yours. A public service message from ESGR and the Act.
MLB.com radio heats up even as the weather cools down. Join Diamondbacks broadcaster and MLB.com radio contributor Victor Rojas as we bring you Arizona Fall League action. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean the play stops. Check out some of the best the minor leagues has to offer with prospects like Delman Young, J.D. Durbin, and J.R. House, just steps away from the big time. Victor Rojas in Arizona Fall League action. It's MLB.com radio heating up on the road to the 2004 season. And don't worry, it's a dry heat.
On top of the sixth inning we go, 4-1. Desert Dogs leading the Peoria Saguaros. Victor Rojas with you from Mesa's Hohokam Park. Be with you once again tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, as the Grand Canyon Raptors visit the Mesa Solar Sox. Solar Sox in first place in the American Division, 17-10 going into today's action. The Raptors, 11-15 in the National Division, 2 games back of these Mesa Desert Dogs. As Jake Gautreau leads it off, took a pitch outside for ball 1. Todd Pennington, a right-hander from the Indians organization, comes in relief of Kyle Evans. 1-0, foul back to the screen. 1 ball and a strike. Pennington 1-0 and a 3.86 earned run average in 6 ball games, 7 innings of work, 7 hits. He struck out 6, walked 4. One to Gautreau, fastball caught the corner. 1-2. Gautreau 1 for 2. He's flown out to center and he singled to right. 1-2 pitch, off speed, swung on it, missed, and down goes Gautreau. Good changeup. Got Gautreau fishing. So 1 out in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up David Wright. Right out of the Mets organization, 1 for 2, double and a flyout. Takes a breaking ball, caught the corner, strike 1. Wright fouls off the next offering, no balls and 2 strikes, so Pennington comes in throwing strikes, which is a good thing and something that has seldom happened in the Arizona Fall League this past season. Not wasting any time, trying to get ahead and staying ahead. 0-2 pitch on the way, fastball fouled off to the right side. And that'll find its way into the seats along the first base line. The count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Also around Major League Baseball, Braves exercised the 2004 option on right-handed starter Russ Ortiz. They guarantee they got themselves a guy who's on the front end of the rotation, Greg Maddox, a free agent. Breaking ball low, 1-2. Widely speculated to be seeking an opportunity somewhere closer to home. He makes his home in Las Vegas. 1-2, breaking ball low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes on David Wright. Two pitch, foul off. Out of play. Two pitch on the way, fastball missing it. And a count has run full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful day here in Mesa today, not a cloud in the sky. Temperature about 72 degrees, light little breeze, payoff pitch, inside ball 4. So Pennington got ahead, 0-2 on David Wright, and ended up walking him. That'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. The man on at first base, 1 out. And Desert Dog leading it 4-1. First pitch to Gonzalez, low, gets away from Chopek, but he is able to keep it near the home plate area. Ball and no strikes. Gonzalez chops one foul, wide of the bag at first. One pitch from Pennington, down and away. 2-1. Gonzalez this afternoon, 0 for 1, including a walk. He grounded out to second base back in the 4th inning. John Nott awaits on deck. 2-1 pitch, skies one down the left field side, and that'll slice out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Adrian Gonzalez. Play halted here, chasing the foul ball down. Pennington looks in for the side, gets it, comes set. 2-2 pitch, fastball low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's just about time, as far as that time of day when you get into some of the bullpens here in the Arizona Fall League, it seems to just drag on out. Guys just can't throw strikes, or if they do, they can't stay ahead. Pick off the 10th. Wright dives back in safely. Another throw over. This time Wright does not have to dive back. Johnson, no tag. There goes the runner, and Gonzalez drives one to dead center field. Thompson going back. He's at the warning track, and he'll make the catch for the second out. Wright will head to head back over to first base. Gonzalez was fooled on the pitch as Pennington took something off of it. Drove it to the deepest part of the ballpark here, but Thompson able to track it down. 2 outs for John Nott. Not getting the start as the DH today. Out of the San Diego Padres organization, he's 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. Right-handed batter. Another throw over. Nothing happening. First pitch over to Knott, breaking ball low, ball one. Well, this just in, reported on Reuters. A Turkish man was stabbed to death after hawking T-shirts depicting U.S. rap star Eminem because a man mistook the sales pitch as an insult to his mother, Turkish newspaper said on Tuesday. So Eminem making an impact all around the world, not just here in the continental United States. My thanks to Dan Gentili, our wonderful producer in New York, for providing us that story. Foul ball. Just hit above our window here, my window here. Ball and 2 strikes. If you've got any other odd stories that you'd like for me to discuss, send them on in to radio@MLB.com or MLB Radio Live, our instant messenger screen name. And, of course, that's America Online Instant Messaging, the finest instant messaging on the Internet. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Half-hearted effort by John Knott. His heart was there, but his culo was elsewhere as he was fooled on the pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Todd Pennington. No runs come across. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-1. Desert Dogs leading it as you're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of Baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to alsa.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in the score, and Cepeda pulling for second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York, a tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall of Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings and off-season moves on the Hot Stove Show. And get updates on winter leagues and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number 1 baseball source all year long. This is MLB.com radio. Now, bottom of the 6th inning we go, 4-1. Desert Dogs leading it here. And due up for Mesa. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Smith, Duffy, and Thompson. Another wonderful note brought to you by Reuters and Dan Gentili. From Brussels, a former Belgian ambulance driver put his first aid skills to good use by reviving one of his pond fish with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, a newspaper said on Tuesday. Leo Van Aert was so happy about having saved the life of his cherished koi, he wants to name it after one of his grandchildren. How about that? Who would have thunk it that mouth-to-mouth resuscitation would have worked on a fish? Now we know. 0-2 to Smith, curveball, lifted into shallow right center field. On comes Aguila, and he'll make the catch for the first out. So Aguila had to make a long run towards the gap, I should say. Tracks it down, 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring up Chris Duffy. Duffy takes a fastball high for ball 1. Duffy part of that unique double play in the 4th inning, trying to sacrifice Schrager and Smith, wanted it back to the pitcher. It was Hutchinson at the time. Wheeled around, threw to short to retire the runner at second, and then the shortstop threw home to retire Smith trying to score. Two-one pitch on the way. That's chopped foul behind the home plate area. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Pirates farmhand. Breaking ball that hit Duffy in the foot. So the third hit batter in this game puts a man on at first base with 1 out. That'll bring up Rich Thompson, the center fielder. Thompson with very good speed, as does Duffy at first base now. There goes the runner, pitch outside. Time is called. A balk is called. So we've seen just about everything down here in the Arizona Fall League. Duffy awarded second base on the ball call, no pitch. First pitch to Thompson, caught the corner, strike 1. Thompson, very good speed, is 1 for 3, including a single, couple of stolen bases. And he slaps one into left center field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Meyer comes up with it. He bobbles it. Duffy's going to score. Thompson trying to go to second, and he'll be gunned down for out number 2. So Meyer had a play on Duffy. Duffy with very good speed bobbled it. Thompson saw that, tried to go to second base. And he is gunned down. So Thompson gets a single and an RBI. But retired 8-4. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Freddie Bynum. It's a 5-1 Desert Dogs lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch down and away from the left-hand hitting Bynum. Ball 1. Bynum out of the A's organization is 0 for 1, including 2 walks and a run scored. He has struck out as well. 1-0, curveball, caught the corner. 1 ball and a strike. One pitch, swing, and a miss by Bynum. 1-2. Swing and a miss on the curveball. And down goes Bynum for the second time in this ball game. But the Desert Dogs do put a run on the board on a hit batter, a balk, and an RBI single. No runners left on base. We've played 6 innings. It's a 5-1 lead for the Desert Dogs as you're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of Baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to alsa.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in to score, and Cepeda pulling the second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York, a tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall-of-Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings, off-season moves on the Hot Stove Show, and get updates on Winter League and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number one baseball source all year long, this is MLB.com Radio. Up top of the 7th inning we go, the Mesa Desert Dogs with a new pitcher. And it's a pitcher that is not listed on the roster, so that's a good thing. As soon as I get information on him, I'll be more than happy to get that information to you. Whoever this right-hander is comes in relief of Todd Bennington, who went just an inning. Struck out 2, walked 1. Allowed no runs and no hits. As Chris Aguila leads it off. Aguila skies one to center field. Thompson, the center fielder, moving over to his right towards left center, makes a catch for out number 1. So one batter up, one batter down for Peoria here in their half of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Justin Huber. Huber from the Mets organization. No official at bat. He's been walked. And he's also been hit by a pitch, but he came around and scored the only run for the Saguaros back in the 5th inning. This one foul on the right side and out of play. Strike 1. Chris Mabius is the right-hander out of the Athletics organization. Mabius, no record of 554 earned run average in 10 games down here. Check swing, foul up the first base side. 1-2 the count on Huber. Five to 1, Desert Dogs leading at top of the 7th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Mabius works from the windup. First pitch on the way. Check swing off the glove of Mabius towards the third baseman, Smith. He's got to hurry. Throws on the run. Throws over the head of Johnson. Off the tarp. Into the seats. And Huber will be awarded second base. So an error on the third baseman, Corey Smith. And that'll bring up Brad Nelson from the Brewers organization. They've actually ruled out a hit and an error, so Huber gets a base hit. And he goes to second base on the air. So Peoria with a runner in scoring position. 1-0 count on Nelson, who is 1 for 2. Left-handed batter takes a fastball the inside part of the plate. Count is even at 1-1. Joselo Diaz from the Mets starting to loosen up in the bullpen for Peoria. Waved at swing by Nelson. He goes down for out number 2. So 2 outs. Now to bring up Drew Meyer. Meyer 0 for 1, yet he picked up an RBI on a ground out. Takes a high fastball, ball 1. Diaz would be the third pitcher record if he comes in the bottom of the 7th, following Trevor Hutchinson, who went 4. And Lincoln Holtzcomb has gone 2 innings thus far. 1-0 pitch to Meyer, missing low. 2 balls and no strikes. On the way, and that fastball high. 3 balls and no strikes. So slowly but surely, we're winding this ball game down. More slowly than surely, though. 3-0 in there, 3-1. Three-one on the way. Sky to the left side, out of play. 3-2. 2 outs, I should say. Man on at second. 5-1 lead for Mesa. Trying to go a game over 500 and maintain a 2-game advantage over the Grand Canyon Rafters. Payoff pitch, foul back to the screen. So we'll reset and do it all over again. Maybe this will come. Set checks the runner at second. Payoff pitch down low. Gets away from Chopak, but Huber cannot advance. So Meyer on board with a 2-out walk. As J.J. Fermaniak, the leadoff hitter and shortstop, steps up. First and second, 2 outs. Peoria trailing it by 4. 5-1. Desert Dogs leading. First pitch on the way to Fermaniak, down low. Ball 1. Fermaniak is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. Swing and a miss. Good fastball away. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Maniac out of the Padres organization. It's from the right side. 1-1 on the way. Fastball caught the corner. Good live fastball from Mavius. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on a good fastball on the inside part of the plate. And down goes for Maniac. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Mabius. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. We head to the 7th inning stretch, and it's a 5-1 lead for the Mesa Desert Dogs. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live and exclusively on MLB.com radio.
I'm Derek Jeter. When I was growing up, my parents and I would go to the schoolyard every weekend and play ball. They teach me how if I practiced and didn't give up, my swing could get better. But if I got in front of the ball and wasn't afraid, I could stop it. But there weren't any shortcuts to becoming a better player. But if I believed in myself, I could do it. Funny, all that time, I thought they were teaching me how to play baseball.
Helping your kids find a dream can help keep them off drugs. This message brought to you by Partnership for Drug-Free America. Visit us at drugfreeamerica.org.
Avoid going into spring training wondering where the free agents have landed and what your team looks like heading into the 2004 season. Let MLB.com radio keep you informed with our Hot Stove Report. Mainstays Seth Everett, Billy Sample, and Jonathan Mayo bring you the most up-to-date information while they chat with general managers, scouts, and those inside. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean we stop thinking baseball. The Hot Stove Report, found only at MLB.com radio.
Hi, this is Tommy Lasorda. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my good friend Ben Platt for the great interviews he does on MLB.com radio.
Well, thank you, Tommy. You know, I try to interview everyone in baseball, from Hall of Famers like you to the new stars just coming on the scene, every morning on the Baseball Breakfast with Billy Sample and Jonathan Mayo, and afternoons on deck with Seth Everett and Victor Rojas.
Hey, Ben, one thing I don't get is what's this Benny P stuff?
Tommy, it's just a radio nickname they gave me back in the station.
Benny P this, Benny P that. You weren't Benny P 10 years ago when you started out covering the Dodgers. I'm one of the few guys that knew you when you were poor. Man, I thought you were going to soil yourself every time you did an interview with me.
Man, last year he accused me of starting the Kingman interview, now this. The Benny P interviews, exclusively on MLB.com radio.
Benny P, what a joke.
MLB.com radio heats up even as the weather cools down. Join Diamondbacks broadcaster and MLB.com radio contributor Victor Rojas as we bring you Arizona Fall League action. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean the play stops. Check out some of the best the minor leagues has to offer with prospects like Delman Young, J.D. Durbin, and J.R. House, just steps away from the big time. Victor Rojas in Arizona Fall League action. It's MLB.com radio heating up on the road to the 2004 season. And don't worry, it's a dry heat.
You love the game. You love your team. And you love your friends and family. So to get home safely, you hand off your keys to a sober, designated driver. America's all-star team of sports leagues, stadium service partners, brewers, broadcasters, and traffic safety experts thanks the sober, designated drivers who make sure you buckle up and get you home safely.
Victor Rojas. Now, bottom of the 7th inning we go. 5-1, Desert Dogs leading it. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Desert Dogs. House, Johnson, and Swisher facing a new pitcher for Peoria, Joselo Diaz out of the New York Mets organization. House quickly in the hole at 0-2. Diaz 1-1 and a 10.80 earned run average, 9 ball games. 11 2/3. 16 hits, 14 strikeouts, 10 walks. Slider missed away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Opposing hitters batting at a .356 clip against Diaz. 1-2 to House. Foul back to the screen. House was hit by a pitch in the first and scored. Struck out looking in the second. Singled in the 5th. Checked his swing on the breaking pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air for Mesa. 1 run, 4 hits in air for Peoria. 5 runs, 7 hits in air 2-2 pitch on the way, and House will slice one into the seats along the right field side. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball missing it. And another 3-2 count in this ballgame. Payoff pitch, sliced down the right field line, base hit. Aguila cuts it off. He's going to go for 2. And House is trying. Here comes a throw. It checks up on the outfield grass. And House dives in safely with a leadoff double. Aguila, good strong throw, but as that ball was coming into the infield, it actually checked up on the outfield grass, thus allowing House to reach. House picks up his 6th double of the Arizona Fall League. And Dan Johnson takes a pitch in there for strike 1. Johnson, a left-handed hitter, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. Off speed, down and away. One ball and 1 strike. One took something off that pitch, caught the corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Somebody's starting to loosen for Peoria in that right field bullpen. And it appears as if it's Tim Bosher of the Brewers organization. Breaking ball low. Evens a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. House on at second base, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. The 2-2, fisted foul, third base side, over is right, so is Huber, and that'll find its way into the dugout. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Desert Dogs got on the board first, 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st. They tacked one on in the 4th inning to make it 4-0. Peoria pushed their first and only run in the 5th inning, make it 4-1, and Mesa tacked one on in the 6th. And that's where we stand right now, 5-1. Diaz comes set, 2-2 pitch again, up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swisher waits on deck. Payoff pitch. Johnson skies one to right field. Aguila going back. Now coming in on it. House is tagging at second. Aguila makes the catch. Throws to third, throws wide of the bag at third. House cannot advance, though. So 1 out now. That'll bring up Nick Swisher. Swisher 1 for 1 with a double, a sac fly, and he's also walked. Left-handed hitter, and that pitch hit him on the hip. Knocked the bat out of his hands. And Swisher will head over to first base. Started off walking, now jogging. That is the 4th hit batter in this game. 4th. And we'll have a pinch runner for Swisher at first base. No, we'll have a pinch runner for House at second base. And it appears to be Ryan Thurlott pinch running for House. House, as I said, was hit by a pitch in the first. Chris Duffy was hit by a pitch in the sixth. Nick Swisher now hit by a pitch here in the seventh. Breaking ball low. Shopak. Ball one. Pardon me, we got a pinch hitter here. David Wallace for Shopak. He smashes one through the hole on the right side, base hit. Peter waved around third as Thurlott to throw home. Gets by Huber. Thurlott will score to make it 6-1. Runners will advance to second and third. A good, strong throw by Aguila. And at one hop, Justin Huber, he was unable to come up with it. It should be ruled an error, and it is. So a base hit for Wallace. A pinch hit base hit. Picks up the RBI. And the error, of course, goes to the right fielder. Pitch missed high for ball one on Tony Schrager. One out, second and third, infield in now for Peoria, trailing at 6-1. Line right to the third baseman, David Wright. That ball was smoked. And Wright playing even with the bag, just threw the glove up, more of a protection measure. But he records the second out of the inning. That's the second time in this game Schrager has lined out hard. He did it in the first inning to the shortstop. Corey Smith up, breaking ball low. Ball one. Swisher is on at third base. Wallace at second. 1-0 to Diaz, breaking ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. This will most likely be the only inning for Diaz. Jam job, fisted foul behind the dish. Ball and a strike. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Good fastball. Two and two the count. 1 run in for Mesa. They lead at 6-1, 2 outs in the 7th. 2-2 on the way, swing and a miss. And down goes Corey Smith, but not before the Desert Dogs push across a run. On 2 hits, there was an error. 2 men left on base. We've played 7 innings here at Mesa's Hohokam Park. And the Desert Dogs lead at 6-1 as you're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
Right now, fall is in full color at Kohl's. Kohl's has all the brands your family loves, like Nike, Levi's, Dockers, Mudd, Lee, Oshkosh, and many more. Every size, every color, fully stocked. And with Kohl's great sale prices, you can bundle up without spending a bundle. Plus, you'll enjoy Kohl's hassle-free returns, stroller carts, easy checkouts, and storefront parking. So come on in and see what's new for fall at Kohl's. Kohl's. Shop happy, leave happy.
Hey, Cardinals fans, STLCardinals.com is the official website for Cardinals information. Don't miss a second of the action. STLCardinals.com is the only place for live baseball action on the net with game day audio. Watch video highlights of every game with postgame.tv. Heading to the ballpark? Buy tickets to any game and buy the latest Cardinal gear online at the shop. For diehard Cards fans like you, STOCardinals.com. The #1 site for Cardinals fans.
Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is the ultimate after you had a successful Major League career. Of course, I took 4 years out for World War II. I joined the Navy 2 days after Pearl Harbor, and I'm very proud to be an American and hope I've been a good one.
Relive your fondest memories of Bob Feller and see his Hall of Fame plaque at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. For more information, visit us on the web at baseballhalloffame.org or call 888-HALL-OF-FAME.
Bases are loaded. There's the hot shot to 11-year-old right fielder Smith. Smith relays the ball to Baker. Baker fires to Ellis. Ellis to Purdy. Purdy to Stearns. And Stearns cut off mascot. Now that's
teamwork. Just one lesson kids learn through the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. A partnership between Major League Baseball and its players that connects kids with baseball and softball programs worldwide. To learn more, visit baseballtomorrowfund.com.
Top of the 8th inning we go, 6-1. Mesa leading Peoria. Time is halted as Peoria looking for a first base coach. Finally gets somebody out there. Chris Mabius out there for his second inning of work. Came in relief of Todd Pennington. As he faces 2, 3, and 4, Gautreaux, Wright, and Gonzalez. .1-0 pitch. Gautreaux skies one towards left center field. Thompson and Swisher giving chase. It'll be Swisher, the left fielder, making the catch for the first out. One batter up, one batter down. And that'll bring up David Wright. Wright will foul off the first pitch he sees for strike one. Wright is 1 for 2, doubled in the first, flew out to right field in the third. He walked in the 6th inning. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch, fastball high and tight, rushed right back. Had to get out of the way. He's ahead of the count at 2-1. Swing and a miss. Wright swinging for the downs there, came up empty. High fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one's fouled back to the screen. Mabius will have another 2 ball, 2 strike count against David Wright. Fastball, ground on left side. Bynum backhands it into the hole. Plants, throws across, not in time. Not a very strong throw by Freddie Bynum. It's short. So David Wright reaches on the infield single. His second knock of the afternoon. And 5th for Peoria. That'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. First pitch to Gonzalez, breaking ball low, ball 1. Gonzalez on the afternoon is 0 for 2. He walked in the first, grounded out in the fourth, flew out in the sixth. Breaking ball low again, 2 balls and no strikes. Wallace stays in the game, does the catching. Two balls and no strikes on the power hitting first baseman Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez pops one up left side, and that'll find its way into the seats. 2-1 the count. And Gonzalez fouls off another pitch behind the left side of the stadium. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 8th inning, 6-1. Desert Dogs leading it, 1 out. Man on at first base for Mesa. Peoria. 2-2 from Mabius. Fastball inside. And the count is run full to 3-2. Action in Mesa's bullpen. Runner goes. Gonzalez fouls another pitch off. So Wright will have to head back over to first base going on the pitch. Another 3-2. Gonzalez lifts one into center field. Thompson's got to be. He'll make the catch. He's going to try to throw back behind the runner right, but he's able to get back to first base. So Gonzalez flies out to center for the second time in this game, second out of the inning. And with 2 outs, it'll be up to John Knott to keep things going here for Peoria. First pitch to Knott, missed inside. 1-0. Not on the afternoon. He's 0 for 3, wearing the collar. He's grounded out twice, and he is struck out. 1-0. And that's popped up behind the home plate area, and that'll find its way into the seats. That thing was hit a mile high. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch on the way, off speed, missing it. 2-1 the count. Well, tomorrow afternoon we'll be back at it again, 3 o'clock Eastern time, right here in Mesa. Solar Sox taking on the Grand Canyon Rafters. 2-1 pitch on the way, fastball high, 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 3-1. Sky behind the plate. Wallace might have a play on it. Still coming back. Near the netting. Misses it. And it falls for a foul ball. So Wallace had an opportunity to end the inning. Unable to do so. Gives Knott new life in the 3-2 count. 3-2, net sky towards left center field. Thompson moving over to his right. He'll camp under it. And he'll make the catch for the third out. So nothing doing here in the eighth inning for the Peoria Saguaros. No runs, one hit, and one man left on base as we head to the bottom of the eighth inning now. It's the Desert Dogs leading it 6-1 as you're listening to Arizona Fall League action live and exclusively on MLB.com radio.
I'm Bob Costas. This year would have marked Lou Gehrig's 100th birthday. The legendary Iron Horse of Baseball gave his heart and soul to America's favorite pastime, but he gave his life and name to the fatal disease, ALS, now best known as Lou Gehrig's disease. You can help strike out ALS. Call the ALS Association at 1-800-782-4747 or log on to alsa.org. Thanks.
Your grandparents came here.
The long drive, and it's a home run for Joe DiMaggio.
Your parents came here.
Here comes Roger Maris in the score, and Cepeda pulling to second with a double.
Now it's your turn.
Number 3,000 for one of the great players of all time, George Brett.
Cooperstown, New York. A tradition of excellence for 7 decades. Be a part of it. For information, call 1-888-Hall of Fame.
From the first pitch of spring training to the last pitch of the World Series, MLB.com radio brings unique and exclusive coverage of Major League Baseball. That continues during the winter months with Arizona Fall League action, hot stove reports, and baseball winter meetings. In November, check out live and exclusive play-by-play of Arizona Fall League action with the hottest prospects in baseball. December means baseball's winter meetings live from New Orleans as we bring you conversations with the managers and team officials from every ball club. Get the latest news with free agent signings and off-season moves on the Hot Stove Shows. Get updates on Winter League and the news from the minor leagues on the Baseball America Hour. Number one baseball source all year long. This is MLB.com radio.
MLB.com radio heats up even as the weather cools down. Join Diamondbacks broadcaster and MLB.com radio contributor Victor Rojas as we bring you Arizona Fall League action. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean the play stops. Check out some of the best the minor leagues has to offer with prospects like Delman Young, J.D. Durbin, and J.R. House, just steps away from the big time. Victor Rojas in Arizona Fall League action. It's MLB.com radio heating up on the road to the 2004 season. And don't worry, it's a dry heat.
Now, bottom of the eighth inning we go, and Tim Basher from the Milwaukee Brewers organization takes over, and first pitch swinging is Chris Duffy. Lines one towards left center field, and Myers not going to get to it. Duffy rounding second, trying to go for 3. Here comes the relay throw, and it's not going to be in time, and Duffy is in there with a leadoff triple. Took the first pitch he saw from Tim Basher and drove it towards that left center field area. Meyer took a bad route at it. And for Duffy, his second triple of the Arizona Fall League, puts himself into scoring position with the Desert Dogs leading at 6-1. And another speedster, and Rich Thompson, stepping up. Infield will come in for Peoria. First pitch, fastball upstairs, ball 1. Basher 2-0 and a 1.42 ERA in 9 games. That includes a start. He does have 2 saves, 12 2/3, 12 hits, 14 punch-outs, 3 walks. Swing and a miss by Thompson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mesa trying to pad their lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1. Thompson pops it up left side of the infield. Maniac goes out on the outfield grass. Will make the catch for round number 1. So Freddie Bynum, the shortstop from the A's, will step in. Bynum hitting from the left side. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, and he's walked twice. First pitch, breaking ball, check swing. He didn't hold up. No balls and 1 strike. Good hard breaking pitch from Basher. Bynum has looked very frustrated this afternoon. Infield still in for Peoria. Breaking ball missed high. The ball on a strike. Good speed on at third base with Duffy there. Led off the bottom of the eighth with a triple. 1-1, chop foul, right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Basher gets his shot. He'll come set. The 1-2 from the right-hander. Chop to the right side. Foul. So Bynum getting a healthy dose of breaking pitches here in this at-bat. Battling to stay alive. 1-2 pitch again. Breaking ball. This one singled up the middle. Base hit. Duffy will come across the score. Nice piece of hitting by Freddie Bynum. Staying back on the breaking ball. Lines it up the middle. 7th RBI for Bynum in the Arizona Fall League. And making a 7-1 lead now for Mesa. First pitch swinging is Thurlott. He came in to pinch run for J.R. House in the 7th and scored. The 0-1, fastball in. The ball on the strike. Thurlott out of the Chicago Cubs organization, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Breaking ball in the dirt, nice block by Huber. 2-1 the count. Thurlott a 182 average just in 4 ball games. Does have a stolen base, decent little speed. The 2-1 outside, 3 balls and a strike. Bynum on at first base, not being held on. And Thurlott pops it up left field. Nelson's got a beat on it, makes the catch. That is the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Dan Johnson. Breaking ball low to Dan Johnson, ball 1. Johnson is 1 for 4, single with an RBI and a run scored in the first inning. Ground out, a strikeout, and a fly ball out. Pops it up, right side. That's drifting out towards center field. Second baseman can't see it. Now Maniac calls for it, and he'll make the catch behind the bag at second for the third out. But Mesa puts a run on the board on 2 hits. No errors, 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 9th inning. 7-1, Desert Dogs hitting it. You're listening to Arizona Fall League action live on MLB.com radio.
MLB.com radio heats up even as the weather cools down. Join Diamondbacks broadcaster and MLB.com radio contributor Victor Rojas as we bring you Arizona Fall League action. Just because the World Series is over doesn't mean the play stops. Check out some of the best the minor leagues has to offer with prospects like Delman Young, J.D. Durbin, and J.R. House, just steps away from the big time. Victor Rojas in Arizona Fall League action. It's MLB.com radio heating up on the road to the 2004 season. And don't worry, it's a dry heat.
You love the game. You love your team. And you love your friends and family. So to get home safely, you hand off your keys to a sober, designated driver. America's all-star team of sports leagues, stadium service partners, brewers, broadcasters, and traffic safety experts thanks the sober, designated drivers who make sure you buckle up and get you home safely.
Victor Rojas has done it all. He's played minor league baseball, worked the bullpen as a catcher with the Florida Marlins. He was the general manager of a minor league team that won a championship, and now he works as part of the broadcast team for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yet with all of that, Victor still finds time to fill us with many baseball tidbits.
Since you're all fired up, Ricky's a pretty quotable guy.
Yeah.
Just ask him. I don't want to be one of those great players who never made it to the series. He played in 3 World Series. Well, I'm not one of them, so that's 49% right there on Ken Caminiti's claim that at least 50% of the big leaguers use steroids. By the way, it gets better. Steve Finley was Henderson's teammate in San Diego. The tale has them boarding a bus when Finley told Henderson, sit anywhere you want, you've got tenure. To which Henderson said, 10 years? What are you talking about? Ricky got 16, 17 years. Oh, that's classic.
Victor Rojas, attitude, humor, and knowledge of the game. Just another few reasons to listen to MLB.com radio.
Believe it.
Oh, top of the 9th inning we go. Chris Aguila will lead it off for the Peoria Saguaros. Trying to get back into this ball game. They trail it 7-1. It'll be Aguila, Huber, and Nelson facing the new right-hander, Brian Hebson. Out of the Red Sox organization, Aguila bolts one right to Thompson in center field. 1 pitch, 1 out. That ball was smoked as well. Ebsen down here, 3-0 at 2.30 ERA in 11 games. Does have a save. 15 2/3 innings. 12 hits, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks. And opposing hitters just hitting .207 against him. As Justin Huber steps in with 1 out. First pitch fastball in there, strike 1. Huber is 1 for 1. Base hit by a pitch and walk. 0-1. That's pulled to the left side. Bynum backhanded at the hole. Plants, throws across. 1 hop, in time. Nice play by Freddie Bynum. 1 hop throw. Nice play by Johnson to dig it out. 2 outs here in the 9th. And Peoria down to their last out. As Nelson fouls one back to the screen, 1 for 3 today. Single, a strikeout, and a ground out. The 0-1 cut on a miss on the breaking pitch. No balls and 2 strikes on Nelson. 2 outs, 9th inning. Mesa up 7-1. Epson gets his side. 0-2 pitch, fastball away. 1-2 now. One-two fastball catches the inside corner, and down goes Nelson. And the Mesa Desert Dogs hold on to win this one by the final of 7-1. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for Peoria. 7 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for the Desert Dogs. The final again, 7-1, as the Desert Dogs move to 14-13 on the year, and Peoria drops to 15-13. Tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time, we'll be back at it again. Mesa Solar Sox hosting the Grand Canyon Raptors from right here at Mesa's Hohokam Park. For Dan Gentile, I'm Victor Ross. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.